If you're interested in the current state of affairs in the very corrupt medical industry in Birmingham, Alabama, yes, this needs immediate outside intervention. The authorities in the state of Alabama, in the cities, in the counties, they are not doing anything about this stuff. Corruption is the norm. I will direct you to this website. It's called Indeed. Now, what you can do here is, if you have worked at a company, any company, basically, any place of employment, you can leave a review about your experience there. And this also goes for medical practices, hospitals, doctors' offices, etc. I'll share a trick also about using the Indeed website. Once you type in the business or employer that you want to see the reviews on, they will display several, and then after like 6 or 7 reviews, you'll see that there may be hundreds or thousands of other reviews that you can't read because the body of the text has been blurred out. They want you to leave your review as an employee of the company to get access to read the other reviews. Well, there's a way around this, and I'll tell you how to do this. What you do is the headlines to the reviews, you can read those. And you right-click your mouse button over the headline, open that as a new page or a new tab in your web browser, and you can read that review. And yeah, it's a bit tedious, but using this technique, you can read every single review that's left on the Indeed website without having to enter in any type of information. Okay, we go to Indeed and start typing in some of the names of these medical practices and hospitals, etc. And you'll very quickly see it's not just me as a patient relating these negative experiences. The actual people who work for these also have some stories to tell, and they can do so here more or less anonymously. If you're thinking about going to a medical practice in Birmingham, Alabama, go to Indeed and read the experiences of people who have worked in these places first. And some of these reviews are jaw-dropping. Alright, so as a patient, I have been to Christ Health Center. I went to 2 locations, a doctor and a nurse in 2019. Alright, so what do we got up here? Let's look around. Alright, this review, 1-star medical assistant, former employee, Chalkville, Alabama. Yes, I went to the Chalkville, Old Springville Road, Birmingham, Alabama, Christ Health Center location. This used to be a Ascension St. Vincent's Hospital facility. So this review, this is from January 17, 2020. And I'll read some of the review. It's very disappointing that the true intention of this organization is lost. A change in management or management training may be the biggest improvement for this organization. Religious beliefs aside, employees are often mistreated, or managers will flat out lie to you, own you, to maintain their positions and integrity. There are constant changes in employees at the Chalkville location, and most of the times it's not because people are advancing in their careers. Consider working for this organization if you're able to put the fake face of Christianity on in order to get patients in the door and make an impression on the public. Here's another review. Management is the downfall. This was posted by a medical assistant, former employee, also Charlottesville, Alabama, June 27, 2020. So quoting here, Christ Health Charlottesville is one of the worst places that I have ever worked. This place is filled with a bunch of racist hypocrites. Both managers tell you what they think you want to hear and will lie boldly to your face. You are overworked with little pay. Don't ever think that you will get a raise or a bonus because it's all a lie. The residents are great, but are afraid to actually speak up because they know they will be on the chopping block. I was referred to Christ Health Center of the Charlottesville location after going to the emergency department at Ascension St. Vincent's East Hospital, Birmingham, Alabama. In the emergency department visit, I was told I had no injuries. I got my records and pictures later. I'll put them up here. The injury that I actually had should have been enough to have me hospitalized. Probably rushed into emergency surgery. That's what I think should have happened. I complained of neck pain. Again, they said no injuries present. In the pictures, there's evidence of broken bone in the underside of my skull. I had broken the basilar area of my skull, and I could have very easily died from this injury. Misdiagnosed and referred to Christ Health Center. And so this shows one of the things that's going on in this place. If you've got a broken skull that shows up in x-rays or CT scans or MRIs, you don't need to be sent to a place like Christ Health Center. This is a community clinic, all right? The injury that I had, they should have called a helicopter or something and flew me to Atlanta, Georgia, or Nashville, Tennessee, a bigger city with more experienced doctors and hospitals than we have in Birmingham, Alabama. So one of the things that I observed going on at Christ Health Center, indigent patients are sent there regardless of their medical condition. When I say indigent, what I'm referring to is the status that I had. I didn't have insurance. I didn't have a source of income at the time. I didn't have a job at the time. So when I arrived at Christ Health Center, I was self-pay. I saw a doctor at the one location, a nurse at the other. I was charged $100 for each visit. Okay? So this shows another thing that's going on. They're overcharging patients. Because if you see a nurse practitioner and you see a doctor, there's a gulf between these levels of medical discipline and experience, okay? But at Christ Health Center, they charge you $100 to see a nurse practitioner, $100 to see a doctor. What's wrong with this picture? All right. The other problem with Christ Health Center, I observed that the staff in this location in Charlottesville and the other location up closer to Birmingham, this is near East Lake. The staff's all fresh out of college, community college, high school, etc. They don't have experience to speak of. And what I observed was the staff here, they were being trained in the way that Ascension St. Vincent's Hospital does business. Because apparently this isn't a thing that's not really talked about, but I'll give you some inside info here. Christ Health Center, which was affiliated with Ascension St. Vincent's, they still have a relationship with them. And the employees and the doctors, the nurses who can play ball and do business the wrong way like Ascension likes done, they get promoted into the Ascension hospitals. Okay? Yeah, I've done hours of video on Christ Health Center. You can see them at my YouTube channel, My Medical Nightmare. They would not give me a referral for the MRI that I needed immediately. They wanted to do a fishing expedition of many costly tests, labs, exams, etc. And I told them I didn't have the money to pay for that, and I walked out. I was not treated as a human being at the Chalkville location. I saw Dr. Terry Daniel Smith. Dr. Terry Daniel Smith, MD. He now goes by the name T. Daniel Smith. He's been promoted, and he works for Andrews Sports Medicine, affiliated with Ascension St. Vincent's Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama now. This doctor referred me and charged me for labs that were not performed on me, and I'll put up the records that prove this. And that's not ethical or responsible behavior for any doctor to be engaged in, okay? You're working in a clinic where you're seeing people who don't have money and are off the street, basically, indigents, charging them for tests that may not have money to pay for or without their consent. This is a big no-no.